This chapter of My Hero Academia that we had today, or at least that came on a couple hours ago, whenever you seen this video, was pretty crazy, heavy, and wild. And did a lot of revealing on things that we wanted to know. First off, what we're seeing, where, they're talking about, Toya's or Dabi's, well, his quirk where literally he has the genes of his mother that are ice, but the fire from his father, and it's basically, hurting him, basically, he kind of got the, you know, the worst side of things, like how Shoto, he has fire and ice, he has both mixed, but some of his other siblings, have like fire and, or some of them have ice. But basically, he kind of got, the bad end of the stick or whatever you call it. So it was a pretty, crazy, because it's been a thing that's been theorized around, when it finally came right to be true, So it's pretty cool that it came true. And then we go from the chapter where we see Dabi probably in the same place that he was during the war, where you had Skeptic showing that video of him broadcasting, the video of it, wanting to show that, Endeavor's not, completely this, nice guy and everything. So basically, it's kind of, revealing all these things, and it ends up showing that, that you see that, you see Dabi's, hands where, they're like almost burned to his knuckles, because before the war, his hands were, you could see his whole hand and they weren't burned with scars all the way to the knuckles, So, basically, you can tell that he's in this abandoned house and you can see his knuckles and all that crap. And then he's also just talking about, how, he is, he didn't want to kill Endeavor or anything. He just wants him, to face the public and see and let everybody know what he has done and not let him get away with it. So basically, it's kind of showing how it's gonna go for him, because so basically kind of just wants to ruin his chances of him wanting to be the number one and pass All Might and everything. So, but and so then he also wants to see, see how I don't remember the end scene. It was something about him going into hell, or them seeing how the road to hell or something really. And then we kind of get more, deep flashbacks of how we get like Toya, and like how, Rain and every, they're he keep training, but he's telling him, Toya, you can't keep training because you're just gonna hurt yourself, because basically his quirk is, basically, just killing him, because at the end of the day, the quirk is burning him, even scars, Toya, he's not listening, because, it's kind of never so, because he put into his head that he was going to be, be number one and surpass him and surpass All Might. But that didn't really happen. So, it basically kind of has this mentality, and that's you kind of see where Dabi was going crazy at that moment. He was kind of just losing it. You just saw how Dabi was slowly, Toya was losing himself because of that mentality his Endeavor had. But the thing is, you can see is that, Endeavor wasn't really, abusive towards him. Because, he was abusive towards SHOTO. But we kind of see that, he wasn't the best of father, but he was putting in his mentality, or his, how, he is, him wanting to be number one or someone to surpass All Might. So it shows on, how it is, and, how that happens and everything. So, now we end up seeing, coming home with scars every day, and it's just not turning out right for Tori, because, he's having all these problems, and Endeavor had him training, thinking he was going to be the best, and putting in his head, and now Endeavor's telling him no, and doesn't want to train him, but he keeps coming home with scars, and it's just not going. And then so we see that the third sibling from the Todoroki family, it was not Fuyumi, I forgot it's that one other kid's name. I suck at names. But basically, he was born, and and that's when Toya realized that, he's, a failure, a reject, and kind of showing that how Endeavor, he kind of realized how Endeavor is, and he realized that, Endeavor's just doing this because he wants to pass home, he doesn't care about his kids growing up and doing whatever. So basically, you know, it's just going bad. And at the same time, too, if you look in the art, I may put this on screen or whatever you can see, but you can see in the art that Ray's eyes from the art of horrorcore she did, you can really see, the difference in her eyes. Because she realizes she knows that Toya knows what the reason why this baby here is the only reason why he's here. And then, so she, she just puts a blind eye. But of course, this is not the final time, that, there's gonna be a kid being born, because, the next kid that's born is Shoto. And then, then we get, and then Pam, so, Toya training in some sort of like woods area or something, and it looks like he's talking to himself about maybe probably surpassing Shoto, or his dad saying, oh, I'm gonna surpass you or him or whatever, and I'm gonna be, stronger or whatever. But then, of course, when he comes home, he basically gets yelled at because, by Endeavor, because he has scars on him, and then Endeavor's telling him, you just need to stop, have a different dream, stop trying to become a hero, do something with your friends or classmates at school, try to do something else. But then, of course, Toya is saying, all his friends, schoolmates want to become heroes. So it kind of puts this thing of where, like, Toya is kind of like, oh, he is hurt because he has his mentality now because of Endeavor, what he had brought him to it when he was little, and then he's telling him not to follow his dreams no more. And then also, too, what you see is that his hair is white, and a lot of people have been saying, oh, his hair is not supposed to be white, because in the anime they showed him that it was red. But a lot of things, some animes do things wrong, like, One Piece, Nico Robin was supposed to be, I think, white, or what, I don't remember what race he's supposed to be, where his skin color wasn't supposed to be like a light-skinned girl. So, they made that one. So it's like they make things wrong. So his hair is not red, it's showing that it's supposed to be white. So it basically shows that his hair is white. For the next shot, we end up seeing, baby Shoto's crying, and then, Toya snaps. So he just goes he ignites his quirk, and he just goes for the attack. He goes to go and attack, Ray that's holding Shoto, because, Toya knows that that's Endeavor's pride child. So he goes in for the attack, but, okay, that's where the chapter ends. Well, not ends, but then also shows, too, that Ray is saying, too, that, and it goes back to the current one that Ray says, too, it's not just your pain that you're feeling. It's not just that your pain that only you have, because remember, there's her pain, there's everyone else's pain, but mainly Toya's pain, the pain that he went through when he was a kid, because he already knew that, Endeavor was just making this for pride. He's making his prized children, he wanted to, make his children be the great ones, to pass all my everything, And so basically that's the chapter, but basically, you have, but basically, Ray is saying too is that, she's not innocent. She did the same thing. She knew what was going on, and she was agreeing with everything, and not, batting an eye, not saying anything, and just holding in her grief to let people let what they do. So basically, nothing ever happened. So basically, she knows that it was also her fault that nothing happened when Toya was a child, and it's also her fault. But also, Shoto's sister, she also has the same thing where she kind of hides her feelings from everybody else, So it kind of just ties in everything. And, like, so basically, so she knows she's wrong, but they both need to figure out how to help each other. And so basically, and then, so, like, but, like, See, Endeavor's been, I believe Endeavor, can't be forgiven just yet. Like, he's on the road to be forgiven, but he's on the path for Shoto to be forgiven. Because if you look at it, yeah, he's been helping the path, but he's been helping, Todoroki, being his road of being forgiven and helping him on what he's done with Shoto and everything, but not Toya, because, Toya is dealing with that. So basically, we have that kind of part going into play. So we're just gonna have to kind of see how they take it, because, the chapter did say part 1 of this madness and everything. So we just kind of have to see on how hardcore he makes it, because just on how this handles, because Dever has to face the public, he has to face his family, and he also has to face, Toya. So it's all just kind of going into play, on how things are going to turn out. And, like, it's going to be a crazy ride. But, like, one thing that we really need to see, that we haven't seen how Dabi turned into Toya. Yeah, he got the scars and everything. But there's a big, giant gap between he was a kid and then him becoming, and Dabi. So we need to see, oh, how did he become Dabi? Because it'd be a great way just to show on how, he became Dabi, and then kind of, his more motives and everything. Because we already know what he wants to do, but at the same time, it would just bring a lot more into the character. And then maybe, it would kind of, which it will tie in into, like, why, Davi's acting like this, because we know his plan, he wants to stop Endeavor, but at the same time, there could be maybe something more, because we don't know, what he's going to plan next, because, he has to hide out, because, he overused his quirk, but we're just going to have to wait and, like, see on, what happens. But anyways, this was a great chapter, and I know I did a leaks video a couple days ago. Happy that you guys like that, but I'm hoping that you all will like this video too, hit the subscribe button, and I hope you guys will like me to continue more of these chapter reviews, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.